Hi, my name is Stephanie O'Neill, and I am pleased to do this presentation today on public relations. As a young girl, my heart was always set on becoming a news anchor. As I was the youngest of 13, I was always determined to stand out and become successful in whatever field I decided to go into. One particular evening, sitting outside with family and friends, we were discussing what careers that we would like to pursue as we got older. Well, my turn came along, and with a spark in my eye and passion in my tone, I said, I'm going to be a news anchor. Well, a friend of my mom's turned to me and said, and I quote, Stephanie, baby, I think you should reconsider. And I turned to her and said, why? And she says, well, news anchors are very pretty, and they're either white, and if they're black, they're very light complected. Well, this done some damage within me because I didn't pursue the career of my heart. After graduating from high school, I did pursue a career in finance, which I did very well in the career of finance, but my heart was still in communications and public relations. So after 18 years, I decided to listen to my heart and return to school for public relations. So that leads me to talk about public relations. And what is public relations? If you were to take a toll or go out on the streets and ask, what is public relations? You would get many, many answers. Mostly people think it's just partying, hanging out with celebrities, having a good time all the time. And others would say public relations is just making a career of lying and hiding behind the truth. None of that is true, and it's not so. But what I would like to do is give you the definition of public relations. Public relations is the management of communications between organizations and the public. Public relations is responding to a person or crisis. And just to list some positions that you can basically go into with public relations is corporate communication specialist, development communications development officers, director of public relations, editors, executive assistants, executive communication managers, and that's just to name a few. And here's some facts. There's two facts that I would like to tell you about public relations. The U.S. News named public relations one of the best professions to go into between now and 2020. And the Bureau of Labor projects between now and 2020, there will be a 22.5 growth for public relations specialists. So public relations deal with two entities: a large scale group to be their public relations on any public issues or public image. Public relations is how every public responds to an organization. You have employees, consumers, the neighborhood that you live in, and basically all around any organization. And that's just to name a few. Public relations is needed in, I can't tell you, every sort of organization that exists. It could be for profit, non-profit, in the country, out the country, colleges, schools, churches, other religion organizations, hospitals, agencies, and other causes. All organizations need to manage communications with the public. So let's talk about public relations in everyday life. Some of you may remember there was two gentlemen that went to lunch in New Jersey. The two men went to Subway. Of course, they got their lunch and decided to measure their subs. Well, they measured at 11 inches. But Subway promises a foot long, 12 inches. Here's where the PR needs to step in because the issues can't be ignored. Someone have to step up to the plate and discuss the issue at hand. Will they admit the fault and carry on with business? A choice will be made, and the choice will be made with the help of a public relation. What about the inauguration? The inauguration is a huge public relation endeavor. Now with the inauguration, you will have multiple types of public relations. You will have relation media. They will direct the media to stand. They will coordinate the picture taking, what questions to ask, what questions not to ask, what can actually be reported, what questions can actually be reported. Then you will have the PR for the dignitary. Who needs to usher in the dignitary, where they can sit, make sure the area that they sit in is not crowded, and as well as being ushered out of the inauguration. Then you have the public itself. You have the public relations department for the public, and their job is to make sure that the experience for the public is an experience that will be a lasting, impressive impression on the United States. And what about awareness days? Let's take human trafficking for instance. Now, many people will say, what you're doing is a good cause, but public relations need to go in and make sure that the public not only donate to the cause, but also become active in the cause. And that's basically with all awareness funds or all awareness organizations that any organization may have. And let's talk about a current event. Ray Rice, who was arrested for a domestic dispute with his wife, which the video was released to TMZ. Now, the public relations need to reconcile this crisis all around with Ray Rice as well as with the public of the Baltimore Ravens, which Ray Rice is the running back for that team. Which brings me to talk about sports celebrities and how to maintain their brand through public relations. An example is when the players often get their contracts And of course, they're probably eager to let others know what their contract consists of. Well, they cannot have that leaked to the social network. If that gets out in the social network, their contract can be totally taken away from them, as well as the sports celebrities' lifestyle. They have to maintain a lifestyle for the brand of their team. And the public relations needs to help them maintain that brand and help them stay in that shining light that's in the better interest of the team and its brand. Now, what about public relations and the social media, which is one of the biggest and largest things in the industry? There are organizations that are specifically hiring public relation professionals because they need to know how to really work and how to get on board with the social media, because public relations can help build that relationship with the public via social network. Now, there is a distinction about being in public relation. Number one, public relations is people focused. If you love people and you sincerely care about people, public relations may be a great field for you. I know it's a great field for me. Public relations is value, opinions, beliefs, and behaviors. Excuse me. Many public relations base their professions off of these 4 items here. Then there's ethics, which is very, very important to me, which in every reason, in every organization, in every change, there must be, and it has to be done ethically. Public relation is basically a behind the scene career. It's very rare that you are going to have a PR on the front stage, but there is a public relations where you will strategically execute life changes. In public relations, people may not know you, they may not know your name, they may not know where you came from or where you're going. But putting your expertise to work, you will make changes. Yes, there is a lot of work. There is a lot of research. There is a lot of late nights. There is a lot of early mornings. There is a lot of going back and forth, playing the liaison. But it's unique, and it's a unique role as a PR. It's very rewarding to see changes for a cause and the plan for a cause to go through. It's very rewarding. Lastly, I want to discuss me being a Christian, which is very dear to my heart. And this helped form my view of pursuing a career in public relations and how the profession connects to my faith. In the Bible, Second Corinthians, it talks about being an ambassador for Christ. And it's how I relate becoming a public relations professional as a Christian and a representative of Jesus Christ. And it's nothing more rewarding than witnessing to individuals and leading them to the love of Jesus Christ. You're probably wondering how I'm relating this to public relations as well as being a Christian. There are people that are very different, that are not in church, that are non-Christian, and because we may not understand them, we are quick to judge, which I'm not saying is right, which is not right. But being in public relations, you know better. There are organizations that are very unique, that has lots of dynamics. And remember, public relations is people focused. So spending time on the other side and getting to know the other side, that is value. I value that. You may hold an opinion, and being a Christian, holding an opinion is valuable, which many may or may not agree. But as a Christian and being in public relations, the need to communicate the truth that you receive and that you perceive and that you project that the truth onto someone or an organization. So you will know that I deeply care and I need to share that caring and the truth with you. And that is basically public relations in a nutshell. Now, you remember, public relations is value, opinions, beliefs, and behaviors from the organization to the public.